But let me focus on these three aspects. First, what's the new reality taking shape in the United States, in particular regarding policies? Second, how we should think about navigating this new reality in terms of the policy response by other countries here in Europe in particular. And third, let's talk about what this means for corporates, for the places where are going to work, for the firms, for the private sector, how to cope with these changing dynamics. The attitude is much more aggressive, not just regarding countries, but also the global institutional framework in international organizations like the WTO, World Trade Organization, like United Nations, like NATO. All those institutions are being questioned in terms of what Trump thinks should be the U.S. involvement in those institutions. So if you have just one hammer going around, everything's looking like a nail, and that's a problem. So it is a historical shift. It is also a concern because when the U.S. introduces tariffs, it does so arguing that it's trying to achieve several different goals at the same time, but those goals are inconsistent. Trump is really a symptom of much wider trends. And I think the wider trends are happening not just in the United States, but really global. I think what's happening here that explains the rise of the right in the US and potentially in other places is a backlash, I guess, many years of globalization during which the gains from globalization were not fairly distributed. But that's, I think, the new reality. Instead of global institutions, the WTO, the United Nations, World Health Organization, I think we're going to see regional agreements overlapping among them. So it's going to be messier than we had before. Right? You cannot rely on Russia to provide cheap energy anymore. The United States does not provide a security umbrella anymore. And China is becoming less of a consumer and more of a competitor. Right? In EV, for instance, these are vehicles, you already see more cars being sold by China than by other producers in Europe. So it's a complicated relationship. It's, however, not a relationship that Europe can ignore. Given the threat coming from the United States, the solution has to be for Europe to fight other parties, emerging markets in general, and China among them. Maybe we should stop here unless there's one last final burning question. But if not, let me say it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. All the best. Good luck.